Welcome back, everybody, to Crush Improv Plays Dungeons and Dragons, joined tonight by myself, Andrew, Dan, Jordan, Brooke, Al, and eventually Christine, who's still restarting her computer. So, hey, everybody, how you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Boy, am I glad to see 2023.
Is this the first game we played? I don't believe this is the first game we've played since the New Year.
Well, I am catching up on lost time.
We already Happy New Year to each other.
Did we? I don't think we did Happy New Year each other. Well, we may have, but remember the first 20 minutes was like not broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
Whose fault is that?
That's the internet's fault, is what I'm going to say.
Right.
So let's jump right back into it, shall we? We ended on a very exciting note, as you all were in the Fallen Tower on the isle off of Fairwind Isle, which seems to have a ziggurat containing a demon who has been giving you some trouble over the past bunch of episodes.
It's true.
And in this tower, you had made your way through several segments of it and gotten to the third level, which was sealed on both sides. And if you imagine that each level is sealed by a trapdoor in the floor, then it's acting like a door for you because it's on its side. And you had climbed up to the ceiling of the second level and were contemplating how to get into this crazy trapdoor, which does not have a handle. It had just a diamond set into the center of it. And there was some pressing of the gem, and this resulted in, as Al nicely called it, a Freaky Friday moment, where some consciousnesses had been transferred around. And as it stands, since the button was pushed twice and lots of saving throws were made, we have Christine / Glonda currently inhabiting the body of Gnorman. We have Jordan / Jojondron currently inhabiting the body of Tergar. We have Al / Norman currently inhabiting the body of Jojondron. And Dan / Tergar is inhabiting the body of Glonda. Brooke / Nimralian is inhabiting her own body, not having been affected at all by these two events.
I'm so smart.
So you rolled 2 20s to
Well, I have a really high
avoid all that
intelligence
stuff.
additional piece.
That helped.
Is the thing, yeah.
Okay.
And you have very high modesty as well.
Oh, my modesty is literally the best modesty. I'm the most modest person.
Should we
Probably the
tell
best.
Nimmerlian to get out of the room and we'll just keep rubbing this thing till...
Well, Norman ran, so I feel like Nim is going to chase App. Well, he's going in the opposite direction, isn't he?
Gnorman as Jojondron?
No, Gnorman.
Yeah.
Well,
Gnorman in Joe John's body.
Right. Now, I know that Andrew said, oh, but you guys don't actually know, but I kind of said, well, Nim knows the only person who would book it would be a Gnorman thing to do. So I think she kind of says, like, go get him, or she kind of, because she's still in her body and she's not great at running, but I feel like she would have figured out in order to have them all go back into the bodies is they need to all be in that room and probably like trial and error, touch it enough times for the switching to kind of finally make it back. But I think it would just take a bit of time, probably. But Nim should
When
be
in
there for
doubt,
that.
just touch it more times.
Yeah,
what I
that's-
like to say.
Honestly, Nim agrees with that, but she should freaking not be there. So
Okay, so let's catch up. Al, you suggested the last thing you were going to be doing in Jojondron's body was to run away.
Run away!
Yeah, I decided I did not want to. I wanted to spend a little bit of time. I wanted to take the tour and not leave Joe John's body immediately. I was like, hang on, like let's slow down, everybody. Instead of trying to have that conversation, I just ran out of the room.
Okay.
Now, is he also comically hitting his head on low beams that he normally wouldn't have
We're about
noticed?
to find out. You're going to
Okay.
make a dexterity
Nice.
ability check as Jojondron. So Jojondron has a +0 to his roll, and
Oh.
because of your weird personality transference, you're actually going to get a -2 to this roll. So
So 12.
the 12. Now, as you may or may not recall, you had the chair will recognize Christine in a moment. As you may or may not recall, there's a circular staircase, which is how the levels are transcended from level to level. And you managed to skirt yourself up to and wedge yourself into the top of the circular staircase to have access to this trapdoor on the ceiling of the third level, or otherwise known as the wall, where you are currently all are, because it is the fallen tower. So you manage to stumble ass over tea kettle onto the and plummet 10 feet to the floor beneath, and having failed your saving throw, you are going to take 6 points of damage. And I specify that Jojandron takes 6 points of damage.
Me?
Right.
Well, the body takes 6 points of damage, currently steered by Norman.
So
Yep,
I
love
should
it.
put it on my sheet, though,
I think you should still hold carriage of the responsibility of recording the hit points damage,
which means I have to open up my sheet.
if you wish.
And perhaps I should also open up North Star.
If you,
At the
you know,
same time.
listen, you can always just be on the outside looking in on this experience.
I understand.
If we get into a fight,
Uh,
are we using whoever's body wherein's moves?
Absolutely.
Hey, let's
Cool.
cross that bridge when we get there.
No. I'm gonna stir some shit.
all right, is Nimmerlane gone?
Well, I think Nim had said she was going to chase after,
Well, he's fallen in a heap now.
but he has fallen in a heap. So chasing after him is a relatively simple exercise.
So as Glonda, I yell at Nimmerlane, "Get out of here!" Is that a better?
Yeah.
I have such a beautiful voice.
Get out of here!
I'm a
Nimmerlane!"
musician.
Hey, it's better than what he was doing last time.
That's right.
This is true. Yeah.
It's like Sylvester Stallone with a cold.
All right. I'll leave. Don't you come out until you're all yourselves again. And then she kind of very nimbly, curtly walks her way out of the room and maybe kind of closes it off so that the heap can't follow her.
The
Okay,
heap.
that would be Jojandron.
Jojandron's body.
He's now composed a heap from Fraggle Rock.
Deep breath. That was good. It was a cut.
Yeah, that was
Classic
good.
cut.
What are the rest of you going to do now that Nimmerlian has left the room?
I'm rubbing the diamond.
Well,
Okay,
I'm stuck because I'm in Norman's body.
I don't.
You're not stuck because
You're not stuck.
he's still with us.
Yeah,
He's
Oh,
he's in a
okay.
heap on the ground below.
Oh, okay, great.
I-
yeah.
yeah.
Jojandron, think of it this
Unsuccessfully
way.
ran away and lost Joe John 6 hit points.
Yeah, think
Okay,
of it this way.
perfect.
Jojandron is on the ground. Who's in Jojandron's brain is currently up for debate. All right, so I'm going to make an intelligence saving throw again for me. Everybody who's in the room,
Shit, I think I made it again. What am I adding to that?
it's marked on your character sheet.
You gotta
Intelligence?
beat 20.
So, you have to be 20? Okay, good.
I think
gotta
that's
beat
what
20.
I think that's what it was.
It is indeed a 20.
Yeah, so I'm an 18, so I didn't beat it.
I've seen a lot of fails there, I think.
You just gotta keep going.
All right, so indeed,
No, because we're all going to switch again.
indeed,
Oh,
you
yes.
feel time and space warp as you your bodies transfer. Oh, everybody was arranged differently on Zoom last time, but I can figure this out. So
You can move us, you know.
Remember
I
to
know,
move us.
I know I can move you. So that means, wait, we can do this. So last time, yes, we had Christine next to Jordan there, and then Jordan was next to Al there. That works. And then Al
Are you
was next
saying
to Dan.
what? Should I
Yes.
be writing this down?
No, it's all good.
Okay.
I've got it.
Now I don't want to confuse you too much, but outside of the game, Al is actually in my brain
This is tricky.
in our personal lives.
Okay, so
Did it
you
happen
have
at the strip club?
Character names.
Oh, that
you don't
sounds
want to add
terrible.
that.
The film set, I should say.
The film set, yeah.
Yes, the film set.
Okay, so Glonda awakens moments later to find herself in Tergar's body.
Ah,
Oh God.
Jojandron awakens to find himself in Glonda's body.
Oh, come on, Andrew.
And Gnorman awakens to find himself in Jojandron's body.
Still in Jojandron's
Yeah,
body.
still in no.
Still the
wait,
heap.
he's already in that body. That can't be right. So he's in.
It could be right. That's what I want. I wished hard enough that I just
He would
got
be
my-
in his own body. He's in back to his body.
Yes, he's in Gnorma's body, and Tergar is in Tergar. No, not in Tergar. He's in
Jojo's.
Jojandron's body. Yes,
Okay.
Jojandron.
So now, Norman, get out of here.
Yeah.
Hold on. Who am I now?
You are in Jojandron's body.
Welcome, buddy.
So you're in
Take
a
tour.
heap. You're in a heap, you stupid heap.
Get out of here. Look what you did to my brother's body. Get out of here right now.
Gnorman's small again. What are you gonna do with that?
Just trying to place that voice. It's halfway between like Peter Falk and
It's Super Dave Osborne and Peter Falk.
Super Dave Osborne.
Yes. Nice reference.
And it fits because he was always hurt.
Yes, there is a guy who knows what it's like to be in a heap.
Hey, righto.
Okay,
That was such a good show.
So
Where's
I
Fuji
instantly
Fuji?
shout out,
Mr. Fuji.
hey, so we're all back in our own bodies, apparently.
No, not me. I'm in Tergar's body, it seems.
Wait, Tergar, you just said you're in Tergar's body?
See? It's so confusing. Here's what'll help. And then I'm gonna run up to Jojon in my body and I'm gonna grab my little flute and play a mess of chords. It won't sound good at all.
You're gonna run up to Galanda.
Yes. I run up to Galanda.
Oh God, who's by the diamond? Glonda. All right.
it was
diamond, Glonda.
it was Glonda's body by the
Okay,
diamond. Yes.
but who's Jojandron right now?
Me.
You gotta pick Norman up and toss him out the window.
All right, I pick Norman up and I toss him out the window.
Whoa. Jojon, what are you doing?
Well,
Is he
you know
saying
what
that as
Norman's
I'm
doing.
tossing him?
So I believe actually this isn't
Rude.
quite as dangerous as it would be normally falling 30 feet out a window because
Oh,
I
30 feet? I'm not throwing him out a 30-foot window. I wasn't aware it was that steep.
well, it's
wanna
fine.
kill
He's-
him.
He's
Too
got
late.
an ability which lets himself fall.
Okay.
slowly.
I am like a cat.
Okay.
So you can reduce damage you take up to 5 times your monk level, and normally it would be I think you're going to be fine. Normally it would be 13 points of damage, but because you are 7th level, you can reduce like 35 points.
They call me Slowfall.
You land on your feet outside,
With no
possibly
damage
next
at all?
to Nimralian.
Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna rub the diamond then.
Okay, everybody make your intelligence saving throw.
Nimralian probably tried to catch him and failed because she's not dexterous at all.
All
She
right.
stumbles.
I failed. Oh, you guys didn't.
But I'm immune. I'm not part of this.
You
right?
That's
have
correct.
left the room.
I think
Okay.
Christine passed it.
I got 20. Damn.
All right, when Jojandron and Tergar wake up from this effect, Jojandron finds himself in
His
wait a
body.
second. His body, yes,
Yeah.
because that's where he was. So he's back to Jojo, and Al
I'm not in
has
Tergar's body?
yeah,
Didn't we
because
just swip to each other's?
no,
I'm in
because
Tergar's
Christine is in
body.
Tergar's body. So
Oh, but then that's right. Then I stay. That doesn't make sense because
I
now
thought she
I'm
became
staying.
herself again.
It's an
Oh no, I'm
impossible-
changing.
it's
No,
math.
that's right.
No, if you pass the roll,
No,
then you
that's
don't
right.
change.
I'm Glonda, and Christine is still Tergar.
That's right.
That's right. Can I immediately turn into an animal?
Why me?
I'm just kidding. I'm
Yes.
gonna mess this up.
I'm thinking, but you failed, so this is where the designer of this trap clearly has fallen down.
No. Oh yeah. Yeah, but she stays. No, she passed.
She
Yes,
passed,
so she
but
doesn't change.
She doesn't change. She stays as Terragar.
She has to.
I failed, so I have to change. The only available body to change into is Galanda, which makes sense.
yes.
Jordan was possessing that
Yep.
body. It works. It's actually perfect.
I was gonna say unless, and then
The
find
problem
some
here
sort of
is gonna-
creature.
The problem here is going to be if one of us
one of you
passes
fails.
and one of us fails,
Yes.
then this thing doesn't work.
Then you
Okay.
probably won't
Then
switch.
you might die. It might
Yeah,
kill
that's
you.
probably that's right. That's probably fatal.
If your soul
Okay.
has no place to go, but it can't stay where it is, you might be dead.
All right.
So, indeed, Christine slash Glonda is now inhabiting the body of Tergar. Jojandron is back in Jojandron's body. Oh, this feels much nicer. And Dan slash Tergar is in Glonda's body.
Okay, I'm gonna scale down from the window using my rope.
Okay, and you take
Hi,
your
this is
time and get
Christine.
down, and it is just fine.
Can I do that here?
Actually, you were already on the ground.
Should we wait? Hold on. What voice did I use again for you? Who did I sound like again?
Celeste is still under the
Celestial
cold.
Should we hold hands when we do this?
No.
Okay. That was anticlimactic. Who's? I'm rubbing it. So I rub the diamond again.
Okay,
Okay, good. I failed.
you failed.
And you didn't.
I got 9. No, I got 19.
Oh, that's almost
Oh.
a success, but no, it is in fact.
Oh, good.
So yes, the
We're
there's
back
a
in our
bright
bodies.
flash, and you are back in your bodies at the end of it. Everybody who has been through this experience still has a pretty massive headache, and you are suffering a -2 penalty on all your rolls until I say
Oh dear.
otherwise. But
Should we call everyone back in and try this again?
Part of me thinks we
What?
should have stayed like that and just gone and told everyone we switched back, but we didn't.
That was a long silence there. I was joking. I was joking. All right. Well, let's get out of here.
oh, wait a second, Christine, you said that you switched into an animal form as soon as you got into.
No, I made it was a joke. I
it
didn't
was a
actually
joke.
do it.
Oh, okay.
But that would be pretty sweet.
It would be pretty sweet. So Matt's suggesting somebody should jump into Petrie's body, and PJ is suggesting that, yeah, you should definitely do it all again.
Petrie would be down to live in the.
I
body
mean,
of
we
a human being.
clearly got out of it, but then we'd have to come back to the diamond after we did any adventuring. So maybe not. Maybe let's just go.
I would
Or-
love to switch into Alona's body.
Okay,
Mhm.
relax. What if
Tone it down.
we lure Demon Boy here, switch bodies with him, put him in somebody like that we're willing to get rid of? We'll have to make friends with someone.
Well,
Perhaps
whichever one of us becomes our little buddy, they might get, like wearing the ring.
Mhm,
Yeah.
They might like power too much.
As if we get someone from our crew.
mhm. Well, what
Become
about what's
switch
his
with Demon
face?
Boy.
Jack
What about
Jack
Terragali? We don't want to
Terragali?
give him the powers of a demon.
No, but let's trade his body and then
Oh,
trade
I thought you
from
meant
him
Terragali. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
onto Demon Boy, whose name escapes me, and then and then we just Jack Terragali is a useless corpse to us. Don't tell him I said
Opie or
that.
Dopey. We put
I've grown attached
Opie-
to Moby and Dopey.
You are
Well, yeah, but they-
you are less one Opie from the sea voyage through the hurricane.
Don't remind me.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
what-
I mean, we had to sacrifice somebody to the ziggurat either way, right? In the body, and that's kind of cruel.
We do have to sacrifice. We know this.
If we
If we did.
swapped them, we couldn't leave somebody in the bad guy's body and just let them roam free, could we?
I'm assuming you've all reconvened outside to have this conversation.
Well, right. These are all hypotheticals, right? We don't know any of these that we need to do any body switching or anything like that.
It might have just been something fun that the DM gave us for shits and giggles.
And we know it's here. If there's a problem presented where maybe we want decoy bodies or something like that, then we could come back here. I'm more wondering what's inside there, and if there's some mechanism in there that we need, if we're still meant to get inside this tower.
I'm kind of,
We did. We've seen the whole tower, haven't we?
No, there's one floor.
Well, there's the
floor
room that
you
we
can
can't
get
get
in.
into.
You tried to
That's
get
the
into
diamond
that
door.
room from the top, and we tried to get in from the bottom, and none of us could get in.
I didn't know there was a floor there. I thought
Yeah.
that was we
No.
were on opposite sides of that same door. Right.
No, it's
Okay.
You're yeah. If we look at the screen there, and I bring Norman back, you can see that where he was on the top side, and where the party was on the bottom side.
Okay, my bad. I thought we were both looking at that diamond door from
Right.
opposite
Hence, like,
sides.
why need to open it at all if that was the case? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess if I remember correctly, Nim just basically realized it was obviously a very magical door, and the only way to get through it would be doing the thing that is required to simulate that diamond in some way, and it's obviously not touching it, and we don't know what that is. And I also am thinking about, what's her name, Lady Tolliver, who was like, oh yeah, go over there, here's some spells, like, we did it once, but like, go do it a second time. She seemed like she didn't want to give us that much information about the island, about what to expect. Like, she wasn't, giving us a map with all this stuff. She was like, just go. And
Did she give any? Because we all got gifts from her, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Did anyone get a gift from her that might be connected somehow to this tower, or be a part of the key to get in?
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Is like, why didn't she? If this really mattered, she might have brought it up. But
Well,
that's a good
I'm willing to retcon that she did give you information about this island, because she wouldn't have just said, "Here's some scrolls. Go, don't get yourselves killed invading the castle."
Okay.
Because that definitely is how it felt. So I'm glad to hear that that's not
Yeah,
her intention.
she would have mentioned there was a tower, but she did not spend any time in it, so she doesn't know what its purpose is.
Mhm.
Okay.
She was brought in very late in the process when they had already built the tower and the ziggurat, and just basically brought straight to the ziggurat. She does know that there are two other areas on the island, because she saw them when she was leaving. One is a quarry that is a bit further away, where they mined all the stone that was used to create the ziggurat and the tower. And the they in this case was basically an army of dwarven stonemasons that were hired for the purpose, that were housed in basically in a town that is also over about a mile away. So those are areas that are still on the island somewhere, but they were not immediately visible to you when you got there.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful. So she doesn't know, like, she wouldn't have known anything then about that room, and thus anything she gave us wouldn't have necessarily connected to it, because, or if they did, she wouldn't have known.
Yeah, she knows that they spent about 2 years in total crafting the structures on the island, including the ziggurat and the tower. Actually, she would know that the soul of Grezit was put into a gem, because she saw it literally as part of the ritual that she was involved in, and that it was housed in this tower.
Yeah.
Yes, she does know that, because it was part of the ritual that it was brought over to the ziggurat and then installed in part of the ziggurat.
Sorry, not this tower.
This tower was where they stored Grezit in his gem form while they were constructing the.
Oh!
Could I do a stone cunning check on that diamond?
Well, you did last session, actually.
Did I?
You
Okay.
did, and you knocked
And
it
it
out of the
didn't say
park.
there was a diamond in it, or a demon.
No, they're not in this. Not in this gem. No.
That is a lot of really cool information.
Yes, and I think we were probably wrapping when we had the session with Lady Tolliver at that point, which
Yeah,
is
just
why I
spitting
probably
rhymes.
didn't give you all that information then. But she would have definitely given you anything she knew in order to help you complete this quest.
Okay.
So,
DM.
yes, Al.
So if Glenda can't stone cunning a second time, if a switcheroo happens, can somebody, whoever's in, does stone cunning come with the body or is it with the soul? Is the question.
Wow, that's a really deep and thorough question. Well, I know the audience is desperate for you to do it again, so I would for sure say yes, you would get a second kick the can.
Why would we do it a second time?
If just two of us go, it's a switch and then it's a switch back, unless somebody rolls a 20 and the other dies.
Can we invite let's go all in. Let's get the whole crew into the room.
Nim has no interest in playing in this game.
Someone would die if it was only two of them and one succeeded.
No,
I
we
mean,
made
that's
that
my
up.
theory. It's
Oh
not,
God,
that's not
Al,
proven.
that's so dark.
I'm just trying to raise the stakes.
Well, I'm in, cause plot.
Cool.
I happen to be with Nim on this one. I'm not exactly sure what the hell is going on.
Me
right
too.
now.
I'm going with my
So our
elven.
two
Cool. So
pranksters.
just Glenda and I are going to
you two
go.
are welcome
Okay,
to
but
switch.
if one succeeds and one fails,
Neither of us is
do
going
we
to
die?
roll.
No, you don't
Well,
die.
We don't know. We don't know.
It's okay.
We don't know
you know
what'll
what,
happen.
Al? Guess what? It's impossible. What's your intelligence? Just tell me right now.
It's not. I think
So
the fact
mine's.
that we're having this conversation shows.
Listen, mine's garbage. Mine's only +1. Well, we
Mine's
both
plus
get.
2.
We get a -2 on all rolls. So unless you get a nat 20,
Yes.
that's the only way you're gonna get a 20. I'm gonna fail this roll. Wait, that means I'm gonna foolproof fail this roll and we can't get out of it ever.
Oh.
No, just do it twice and we're fine.
Fail
We're good. Let's do
twice.
it. We're already
Oh
inside.
yeah. Okay, great.
Okay, you head back.
I'm glad I wrote that down.
I reach out and I touch the gem.
And I hold Norman's hand.
What?
Ah!
Oh, I thought that was a 20.
Whoa.
too.
I just saw
Yes,
it.
Whoa, guys.
There's a blast of light, and you find yourselves in each other's body.
I am feeling powers that I have not previously felt. A cunning in reference to stones. So I exercise this feeling that I'm feeling to stone cun those cunning stones.
Perfect. So you're gonna roll a die 20 and add a 7, I believe we figured out is.
It's a 7.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Still rolling like Al.
Still, yeah. So the rolls with the soul is what I've learned.
Yeah.
That is a great
Roll
looking
comes with the
diamond.
soul.
It's got lots of cuts on it, like jewelers do. You know that you know stone cutting, and you can tell that it's a craftily done insetting job with the stone around it. There's no easy way to pluck out this diamond. You've experienced this on the other side of the when you're on the 5th level of the tower. There was no way that you were going to get this out with a scimitar, and definitely no way to do it on this side either.
Okay, so Glenda, I have just used my stone cunning ability on this
Ow.
diamond, and let me say, I have learned
Mhm.
that it is a beautiful rock. It is really well crafted, and you can't remove it in any way. It's shiny, and it's cool to look at, and that is the new information that I've been able to glean using my special abilities.
Wow, that's really incredible. I can't believe that it took so much work to get to know it's a nice diamond. Okay. Should we
So now-
change
Now
back?
that Gnorman's in a woman's body, he's starting to mansplain.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, hey, Glenda didn't get to hear the information as it was conveyed to me, so I've simply passing
Didn't
on what
I didn't I get like a nat 20 when I stone
you
punned
ballooned
yesterday?
it. Yeah, you.
Yeah,
blew it
she
apart
knows
last
all
time.
that and a bag of chips.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
I'm just gonna
you gotta-
I'm just gonna pat Al's head. Or not Glenda's head, like, okay.
All right, well,
Well, this is just now that we
Your
know that
call
there's
now.
magic to it. I don't know. I say we switch back then if there's nothing we can do. Or if it's supposedly this tower, we find something here, but I think we should switch back first and have the rest of the gang come so we can investigate.
I'm not
Sure.
sure that we're ready to come up with you in the tower. Because
Yeah,
one
you
who
both
might
are
rub the-
hooligans, and we
you'll
don't
rub the
trust the
diamond as soon as we
hooliganery.
come into the room.
No, we won't.
We're yelling this at you.
I figured. Yeah. Yeah.
all right. Well, I'm okay. I just reach out and I touch the stupid rock again.
Okay.
Perfect.
The
Both of you
stupid
roll
rock.
intelligence saving throws, please. Nat 20.
Oh! Someone
Here it
dies.
is.
Al dies.
No, I got a 19.
Oh yeah.
So.
Because I got a plus, it's a -2 + 1.
Well,
Oh, if it's a nat 20, it's different.
It's a
yes.
natural.
Yeah, it is a success.
We're dead. We are so dead.
I don't know. This is things are about to get weird.
So
Do we both inhabit one body?
Did
You
a fly
feel the-
buzz into the tower just as they pressed the diamond?
you feel the heat of the gem, as it normally does, as it increases, and there's a click, and the trapdoor opens.
No.
Oh.
No.
Nima, they were right the whole
No.
time.
What?
No.
They were right the whole time.
How does that even make sense? at all?
Reckless idiot short folks.
Boom, 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 boom. We are the best. Here we go.
Now we
You
have to
guys
listen to
owe
them.
us so much booze, so much food, and half of all of your cuts
Wow.
and jewels after this.
Wow. Good
Wow.
stuff.
Wow.
Think about Andrew. He had to keep that a secret the whole time too.
Listen, Glenda, the others don't know that this just happened because they're outside like cowards.
Yeah,
So-
you're right.
You are still in each other's bodies, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to switch
Right. Oh,
back.
so-
I don't even know if it's going to work, but I don't want to lock the door by trying to switch back.
No. I mean, right now,
We got to stay
and
like
I'm gonna
this.
keep calling you Norman because it's like looking in a mirror from my perspective.
Thanks.
Let's climb in and see what the f is up, and
Just
then
us?
we can report back.
Okay, I will say if you want to be a little bit stealthy about it, you can cast invisibility and check out
Sweet.
in case there's a demon or something scary waiting and we need help.
Okay, I'm gonna cast invisibility, which
This
is a
whole
thing I
magic
totally
thing
know
is
how to do.
so new to you, but yet it is obvious in your mind how to do it when she tells you. And yes, with a.
I mean, or Glenda, could it not just be a repeat after me?
No, you can
It's,
touch. You can also touch me, and I'll become invisible. But I'll give it to you. You love.
Great.
No, you know, man. You love creeping around and looking for things.
I do love creeping around and looking for things.
so,
So-
you go
All
off,
right,
queen.
so it happens.
It happens. You are invisible. When you opened the
Sweet.
trapdoor, you felt a bit of a puff of air, and the smell of dust and age seems to come out with it. And you can see light streaming in from the trapdoor. There are no external windows or portholes to this floor. So the only light that's coming in to this space is from your trapdoor that you've opened. So a very thin, blade of light is streaming through. Now you both have dark vision because you are a dwarf and a gnome respectively. So you can see into the gloom to some extent. And it is one large open area, still in remarkably good condition, given that the fact this tower has fallen onto its side. In the center of the room, you see, again, on its sides, because the tower is on its side, what would be a raised dais. And there is I guess in modern terms, you call it something like a baptismal font, but in this case, it's not for baptisms. And there's a stone dais 15 away from that. So it is basically a small altar-like feature. However, there's nothing on it, and there's nothing in the font in the center of the room. But you feel a static in the air as you enter the space. And there is a glint off of something on the opposite side of the tower floor. So if you consider that you are coming into the space about 30 or 40 feet up, then on the diametrically opposed from you on the other side, you see a glint of something that is barely visible from your perspective. The other problem with this is because the tower is on its side, sort of transiting on this, like the other rooms had some debris and other areas that you could use as handholds, but there's nothing like that here. So you are literally looking down into this space, and it is, what is it, about 40 feet across? So to get to the other side there is literally a 40-foot drop.
And then the door on the opposite side as a possible other exit from this room is where?
So it is, I mean, you can see it on the map there. It is sort of on the other scoot side.
Oh, right.
Now, that said, the circular staircase does go around the room. So you could use it to transit the space on the outside.
Okay.
This was a real hard one to
definitely locked
visualize.
enough that we couldn't get through it previously. Yeah. Okay. So I call out to Glonda. Is she still right next to me? Or
I would assume so, or unless
I just
I
say,
didn't,
come.
I didn't move.
come
I'm like
take-
right at the
take-
trapdoor.
Yeah, take a look. Take a look at the store. I go like I do the thing where I like confidently take a step through and then like pause right before I realize there's nothing to step onto.
Yep.
And I regroup quickly and say, "Hey, Glonda, you should come take a look at this."
I'm gonna take a step in, and I'd
Um,
like to do a perception check.
Okay. Make a rule for me.
20.
So yeah, it's as I described. You peer down into. Are you looking for anything specific in the space?
I guess I'm trying to see like if I can see anything kind of fishy or moving, anything alive, any kind of traps, any sense
What's
of
the
danger.
shiny thing that's on that far side?
Yeah.
Or okay, you're looking for danger.
I'm looking
Yeah.
for danger, but also just something interesting. I'm not just
Okay.
being like, ooh, a pit. Like
Well, the first thing you can tell is there's nothing alive in here. Like nothing is moving, nothing is fishy, nothing is shambling towards you horribly. The room again, you can tell right away it's made by these master dwarven craftsmen. Like their fingerprints are all over this place. Very specific workmanship for something arcane that defies your understanding. You're not sure what this space was for, but putting together what Lady Tolliver would have told you, this is probably where they stored Grazit's soul gem before installing it in the ziggurat. And you would guess it was probably in that font, because it has a very specific looking receptacle. As for the glint at the far end, something metallic is all you can tell from here. It's about 40 feet away. Yeah, we said it was 40 feet away from you. So it's a bit distance and in the very edge of the gloom. So unless you could create more light, that is what you are seeing.
But it's near the door on that opposite side of the wall.
So
Like
if you
it's
imagine
far away
that
from
it's-
us, but
No, it's at the very bottom of the scoop. So it's because it's a tower, the walls are circular. So it's at the
right.
bottom of the scoop, which is the best way I can describe it.
Okay. Cool.
if I used my cantrip minor illusion, could I make a little light next to it to try and see what it is?
I will allow that.
Cool. I'm gonna do that.
Cool.
Boink.
It looks
Wait,
like...
do I have to do that?
Oh right.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Good point. So I'm assuming the one talks the other through it?
Yeah.
Glonda
Okay.
quickly walks me through it. And
here's
bada
what
boom.
here's what you're gonna do. You're just gonna go mine,
Just
and it's gonna happen. Just picture a little light.
All right. Collab a blank.
So what are you making an illusion of? What is the light source that you're producing?
So there's that altar thing kind of in the floor in the middle of the room. Can I make that glow? Like, can I just light up the room by making something? Is that how this works?
We
I
make
don't
it
know
like
how
an
this works.
item, so we can do like a torch. Like it's an illusion.
Oh,
So we can do like a
create something from
torch
that.
on
Yeah,
the
okay.
wall and it'll emit light, or 21st century the light bulb. So it's just make an item show up that can emit light.
Okay, so I, being new to this, I create a giant, like basically a campfire, like a big. Can I? Is that a thing? Am I?
Absolutely,
Cool.
yeah.
I make
no.
a torch and we move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. I start an unreasonably big fire.
Cool. So it comes into place next to this glinting metal thing, and you can see that it is an ornate sword. From where you look, it appears to be quite large, in fact. And you can see that the blade curves. So it's not your average sword. It's something quite elegant.
You get Joe Jonger on a new sword.
Yeah. Do either of us have any rope on us, or should we get the others? Should we just get the
I'll
others?
check your pack. You check mine.
Okay. Deal. Alright,
You don't have rope. I think there was a fire early on in our
Yes.
adventures, and I lost that rope.
I think that
Oh.
may have happened.
There should be some rope. Well, no.
Should we get the
3 times 8
others?
feet.
Should we get the others? I feel like they might want to be here for this, and Nim might know something about that sword and altar.
I'm actually surprised they haven't just walked in to see
Yeah.
what they, especially
Yeah.
since now
No,
there's
it's been
a
like
while.
smoke billowing out of
Are
the
you
thing
kidding
from the
me?
fire.
What would we be walking into? We're scared of you.
Something cool.
I don't
Oh,
know.
we were friends.
Well, let's cut to what are they doing outside?
I agree.
Yeah.
They're
Let
not
us go
walking
there.
in.
It's been about 5 minutes, and you haven't heard any deafening screams or calls for assistance from inside.
I think I feel like Nim is just a classic ball up Petrie whipper and see what's going on. So she probably would do that with everyone's consent. And so Petrie would fly into the little window that they were there, and she would go all like, "Ugh."
And she
And
would
then-
see that the
Yeah, and she'd
trap
go,
door
"Oh
is
my
open.
goodness, they've opened the trap door. They've gotten inside."
You
While
can
that
see
was
that they're
happening-
also still at the trap door too. They
Yep.
haven't seen it gone in just yet.
And while
Yes.
that was happening, I'm actually having a conversation with my brother. Do you regret giving up your rock collection?
Well, I've had lots of collections over my lifetime. When I started, back when I was a kid, you may remember I collected just dirt, and then switched to sand. And if you recall, my mother would let me collect, old dishes that our neighbors.
I remember that. Yeah.
Hold on, Nima's climbing the wall. Should we go? Okay, so we follow Nim up the tower into the window.
I will bring you all back together. Now, actually, no, you don't see them at the doorway because they've become
They're
invisible.
invisible.
We can see that the door's open.
But you can see
Yeah.
that the trap
And
door
that's
is
why I
open.
think I said,
No,
like, oh, they've
only-
gone inside.
Only Galanda is invisible. I'm not.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
right. So
It
you
was
see,
it was
So
cast at the level
the-
below.
The
Oh my
rope.
gosh, Gnorman was right. One of them did die.
Norman, what happened to
Oh,
Glenda?
you should have seen it. She exploded and
No.
died.
Oh, my gosh, I
God.
never got to say goodbye.
I
Where
feel
Do
did
so
any of you
terrible.
have any unresolved feelings for her? I'm sure maybe
she's
All I wanted
such a
to
wonderful
say-
singer.
Sob. Nim is just like absolutely distraught. Like, where is her body? Where is her body?
it turned into dust, beautiful dust, and
It's
it
only
played the most
fitting.
beautiful sound when it exploded because what else?
She starts to squint because she already doesn't really. She knows Norman is already who he is, and then she like turns her head a little.
Anyway,
I wish I could have let Galanda know that to me, she was Alona on Earth, or whatever this planet is called.
that's great to hear, Joe Jongeron. Were anyone else also in love with Glonda?
I didn't say in love, but
No.
that's
This is just your buddy Norman
twisting of
trying
my
to
words.
hear what everybody's feeling. It's a mourning
love,
period
not-
right
not
now.
in love, but
I
yeah, I
think
do
Jim
miss.
Raylan has already figured this out.
Yeah, okay.
Can I uninvisible myself at this moment?
Yes.
Okay. Haha. I'm here the whole time.
What?
I uninvisible myself like very, very close to Terragar. Like just like I just
What?
appear
Oh,
right
yeah,
in Terragar's
John.
face.
Oh, gee. Oh.
Not in love. I didn't say in love.
I'd like Tergar to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Oh, Jesus.
Nice.
Oh no, is he gonna
He's
gonna
shocked
slap
by
me
the
out of
prefaces
impulse?
of the,
I don't think the invisibility stops until you cast a spell or attack.
That's an 11.
No, but
How far do I
he's
plummet here?
choosing to stop
you
it.
plummet 40 feet
But
down
does
to
that
the
work?
bottom.
I think so.
40 feet?
Yeah. What?
Oh,
And
for
you'll
Christ's
take
sake.
a grand total of 11 points of damage on that.
Holy shit balls. Okay.
That would like decimate me.
But you are now at the bottom of the scoop.
Andrew.
Well, I don't recall climbing all the way to the top, Andrew. In fact, I'm going to make an argument here. I didn't climb to the top because I was going to grab the rope that I have in my
Okay.
bag, and grappling hook is actually at the bottom. Like I would actually have to get it and bring
A
it.
lot of work.
And I just want
Yeah.
to say, I don't think Dan's here at all. He was still on the ground. He never came up. In fact,
Fair.
he's not even playing this game.
I was going off of Norman's immediacy of surprising Terragar that he was there. But if you're
Oh,
saying
Yeah,
that
sorry,
he hadn't
that was me.
actually,
That was me.
My
God,
intention
not
was to call up to say, do we need anything? Are you guys that? But I don't care. I don't care.
I think you should be on the ground. I feel like if the DM throws you on the ground, the DM wants you on the ground.
no,
Yeah.
I'm willing to go either way. If you say that you're
Get on the ground.
character
Get on the
was
ground.
waiting for something else,
Get
then
on
that's
the
cool too.
ground.
Hands where I can see him.
I'm on the ground.
All right, you are in a. Luckily, some dust absorbed some of the fall, but you find yourself next to this marvelous spectacle of a sword. It is as tall
Oh,
as you
hold on.
are.
I'm inside the other room. Oh
You fell
shit.
into the other room, but a beat.
So we don't have a rope now.
Well, it's in your pack, so
it's
have,
not.
I
I don't have the rope. The rope
I
is.
have a bag of holding, and in my bag of holding is Gnorman's Explorer pack because he didn't want to hold it around. And in Gnorman's Explorer pack, there is a rope. I've got rope.
and
Or
inside that
use the
rope is another
giant
rope.
sword to smash.
I had no
Use the
idea
giant
that
sword to
he gave you
smash
his
that other
pack.
door open.
He gave me his Explorer pack a long time ago because he just didn't want to hold it. So it's in my bag of holding.
And there is also
Oh my God.
a campfire next to you that is not making any sound or
Next to me.
smell or emitting any heat. Yes.
Mm.
Just a magic campfire.
Yes.
No smell, just light.
It is
no
just
heat.
emitting some light, and that is lighting up the about a 5-foot radius.
So this is like a scimitar scimitar. How do you pronounce that?
It is a great sword,
Oh, it's a great sword.
and now that you are next to it, you can see that it is glistening.
Is
curved-
it the great sword of my dreams?
Yes.
No!
Uh-oh.
The one
See?
that what is it? Is it Gnorman who kills Tergar in my dream with the great sword?
No, Jojo.
No. Jojo.
Oh right, sorry, that's what I meant to say. Jojo.
See, Norman? Told you Nemo would know.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Strike it down.
Do what you got.
Throw it in the ocean. Jojon, I forbid that sword from being anywhere near your glorious hand.
Throw Joe Jondron into the pit and see what happens.
Well, hold on a
Hold
second
on,
here.
hold
Hold on
on,
a
hold
second.
on.
Hold on.
This
It's
is what
my
you
life
get.
that's at stake here.
Nim's like having her own like seance. mode,
Isn't it
panicking.
possible that Graz had made you see that so that we wouldn't grab the sword?
Yeah.
Because maybe this sword is what will be needed to cast him back to his.
What was everyone else's dreams that they had at the very beginning of this adventure?
I dreamed that I got an awesome new sword that didn't kill anybody.
That's not true.
I had nothing to do. My dreams had nothing to do with this.
No, your dreams had everything to do with
Lady
you
Tolliver.
finding Lady Tolliver. And did they not come true? Did they not come true?
No, but that was actually Lady Tolliver. She was communicating with me. Right, DM?
Up to your interpretation.
You thought that she was going to be a very positive and wonderful person, and she wasn't, and we thought that that seemed to be strange, but it was because that actually wasn't her, and when you did meet her, it was lovely and joyful.
Actually, no, you're right. She was communicating with you. That was what she had told you in the cabin.
So mine wasn't. Mine was a separate sort of thing, right at the beginning of this quest. So my dreams were like going towards the ziggurat with burning
that's
pages
separate.
and.
That is also.
But that's not
separate.
the question. Is your dream? What was the inspiration of your dream? Was it Grazit or was it something more benevolent that was trying to warn you? That's and I'm What do you guys want me to do with this sword?
Give it to me.
No!
I lost my great sword in the ocean. It sank to the very bottom and
That's where
probably
it
killed a
should
manta
be.
ray at the
How about
bottom
a happy
of the
medium?
ocean, sadly.
We give the sword to you, Nimmerillion.
You can keep it in your bag of holding until I really, really need it.
No, because when you really, really need it, you'll kill Tergar. I'm trying to find
I'm willing
my
to
dream.
sacrifice my life if
Let
it
me
means
find-
putting Grazit back into the ground.
And I'm willing to sacrifice Tergar's life for a really cool sword.
How long ago was this dream? I'm trying to find it in my
April.
emails. April. Okay. Wow.
My email
Actually,
was
let me look
titled
at mine, too.
Blonda Dreaming, so if that helps everybody else's
Oh, did I have a
find their
dream?
email.
Do we all have dreams?
Thank you.
Yeah.
welcome.
Yes.
Maybe you did, yes.
Did it work? Did my help work?
Except
I was thinking about a lot.
Yellow Bells
Yes.
kept me safe from dreams.
That's right.
I
Okay.
dreamt about food.
Delicious,
delicious
fun
food.
boy. Reward yourself with travel while we reward you with points. Gordon,
No.
thank you for your recent stay at the Sheraton Hotel. Oh,
No, the April dream was all Grazit related.
Grazit. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
put that
for
in
my April
search then.
dreaming, it was all like I could tell that I was dreaming, and Terragar's like everyone's freaking out because Grazit's making them freak out, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you like this, don't you, you dirty girl?" And I was like, "You're sexual. This is weird." And then he's like, "Yeah, give in to your carnal desires." Yeah, I'm Grazit. So that's not the dream that I was thinking of. Flip. This makes me angry. I'm trying
Reading
to
my
find-
dreams, and there's nothing with this.
Oh, I'm so bored.
We were having a really good time before you guys came into the
Just
town.
somebody got that sword. Let's like test it out. Try
You
and
said it's
stop
curvy?
something.
Yes.
In which way?
It sort of goes back and forth.
Oh, like a
the
wavy.
knife in
a
12
wavy-
Angry Men.
Like a
Yeah.
what?
Not
In
sure I
12
remember
Angry
that.
Men, when Peter Fonda goes, "This knife?" He
I
bought
don't-
it down the street.
Well, I'm gonna have to search for that knife. 12 Angry Men knife.
Was this the sword in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? Was that a wavy one like that?
Ooh, good question.
The Green Destiny?
Green Destiny.
I don't know. Anyway,
It's a
Somebody
wavy
do
blade.
something.
It's easily
Brilliant.
like 6 feet long.
Are you still reading? You're thinking
I'm
back to your
trying to
dreams?
find. I'm trying to find my email. I see like Nimralian's level 6, and I'm still going back. Now I'm in like the fall of 2021, trying to find it.
We've been playing this game a while.
I know. Notes for tonight.
The Green Destiny wasn't wavy. It was just really cool with like writing in the middle of it and stuff.
right.
Okay, just Google
Ah, found it.
What was the date of the email?
This was July 5th, 2021.
Wow.
Wow.
And I actually misunderstood. This isn't a dream
A
that
long
we all
campaign?
had. This was a Nim who is a divination girl who literally sees the future sometimes, had a nightmarish vision which had such clarity that it was almost prophetic. In the image, I foresaw Joe John face off against Tergar, and with a vicious strike of his greatsword, Joe John decapitated Tergar.
Yeah.
And the image was so visceral, it broke me out of my meditation.
Well, I hate to say it, Nim, but what that probably means is we body swapped Grazit with Tergar, and I was actually killing Grazit. That's the only explanation for that.
Well, you know what? Nim would realize that you can't change the future as well, I feel like. So as much as she does not like the idea of us taking this greatsword, like what is yet to come is literally what is yet to come. So
and
she
also,
can't
guys, if anyone
push
was
it.
gonna die, I feel like Tergar is a fine choice.
You're being mean tonight. Wow.
But it's coming out of Gnorman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
exactly. It's not
Norman's
me.
Voice.
Jerk.
So you Gnorman.
I mean, and technically, I don't think the rest of the party knows that Glanda and
We don't.
Norman did
No.
not actually.
Though
swap
I feel
back,
like Nim is
you
kind
don't
of
know.
aware of it because of the way that that Gnorman was asking everybody to tell her. But anyway, she did.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pop Gnorman a hard one on the old shoulder there for being mean. And
I
I
just go, ooh,
Ouchie!
ouchie. My famous catchphrase, ouchie, wawa.
Pooch.
Um,
Wow.
So what do we do?
Your call.
Well, I mean, you don't have a great sword. You've been literally fighting without the same level of hits that you can be giving, correct? Like you haven't been.
That sounds correct, yeah.
The only thing is that Nim is just thinking Grazit could probably easily charm you, and then you would start attacking, and you could possibly attack Tergar. So that's kind of how she foresees the future taking place: is that you get charmed, you are now acting out of his volition, and you could kill Tergar with that sword. And if that doesn't happen, something else awful will happen. It's just that we know she saw that.
Is there any charm or anything on this sword that would make you think that it's already maybe a source of evil?
That's a
Well,
great idea. We could certainly
cast-
detect magic and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Let us.
All right, so I'm going to assume that you spend some time fishing Tergar out from the base of the.
I'm
wall
taking
of
the sword
tower.
with me, I guess. Then
You take the
In
sword with
your
you?
mouth, this gigantic sword.
Yeah, he transforms into a dog.
Aw.
A chocolate wrap.
well, that's the other. I can't be a dire wolf yet, eh, Andrew?
I don't know if you have met a dire wolf. in your
I
travels.
dreamt of a dire wolf, and I know this because I just reread my dreams.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. I don't think you have encountered one yet, so
Okay.
that would be a big no.
Okay.
You reconvene outside of the tower, or perhaps at one of the doors, your choice. Anyway, you are all together and you have the weapon with you. Now, you do note, Tergar does note in coming out, maybe by setting up the rope with the grappling hook, it is, as you pass by the font, it is extremely exquisite. Symbols and sigils have been engraved into it and lined with some precious metal. So this ain't no simple fixture. Like, a lot of time and effort went into this, and you're no sorcerer, but you can tell that some great amount of magic was put into this. And the fact that this very room is still in one piece when the whole tower fell over tells you that some impressive wizardry went into the structure of it.
Cool.
So it's magic.
So can I detect magic on it?
You sure can. And
I'll hold it while you're detecting magic.
Great. I'll hover my hands over it and kind of.
I'm just gonna kind of test it out a little bit.
Oh! Ah!
Mhm.
One thing you do note, and this is probably Tergo who finds it first, sort of picking it up, touching the blade, there's a sizzling on your fingers, and you manage to pull it away quick enough, but it feels like an acid is emanating from the blade.
Oh,
itself.
Jesus.
Cool.
So you treat it very gingerly and probably use the rope to pull it out first, and then yourself and pulling it up by the hilt. So it does require some care for use. You detect magic on it, and it detects as magical. It detects as quite magical. However, it does not give you any indication of whether it is evil or good. It just tells you that it is enchanted, and indeed you can tell that there is this acidic effect, like that emanates quite strongly within it. Like it's not like it's just fallen into something which has an acidic finish, and once you strike it off a few times or clean it off, it would be gone. You know that the magic in it produces this acid.
Out of curiosity, does the acid did it affect the rope? Like, was it burning the rope as it was being hauled up, or is it just something that living beings feel?
I would guess that. Well, it does affect the rope if you try, and then you probably figure out that no, we gotta use the handle. We gotta tie it by the handle to bring it up because
okay.
Oh,
All
it's
right,
just
cool.
the blade.
The blade is
So it's an acid blade.
It's an acid blade. It's an acid washed blade.
Blade, wow.
Orange tab or red tab?
And probably black tab in this case because it's cool. Now it's 9 o'clock, which is about halfway through our session. Should we take a break and
White.
swing on back in? Cool.
Yeah, well, intermish.
Intermish.
Cool. See y'all in 5.
Bye. And Al's back. And we're all back.
We're all back.
And Dan is, I'm sure, almost back.
I am. I'm here. I can't turn my screen on. What the hell's... Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
My two dads were really chewing up the CPU power.
Yeah. They were just stealing the bandwidth. So you are...
Speaking of
outside-
chewing up, what are you munching on there, Dano?
A Pillar's pepperoni stick?
Excellent.
Wow.
Or Pilars or whatever the hell they're called. It's a hot one.
Mm. Well, speaking of hot ones, you're on a desert island. Look at that. Yeah, you are outside. You've got the sword in Joe John's hands, I think.
Why
Yeah,
do I have only 19 hit points, but my maximum's 33? Did we take damage between the storm and when we got to the island, or did I just forget to update?
I think you probably just forgot to
Okay.
to heal up. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Good to know.
So what
Okay.
would you like to do at this point? As you emerge, I will say, as you emerge from the tower, you can see the lumbering form of Jack Tergali moping its way towards you.
Okay.
But it looks like it'll take him a while to get there if you have stuff you want to do.
Let him approach us, I suppose.
Here, I'll bring us
Mope
back to-
towards him. What is force damage, by the way?
So certain kinds of effects do force damage. It's another type of damage like fire and ice and thunder and necrotic. So the deal is that not a lot of things can actually defend against force damage, whereas lots of things can defend against fire damage, for example.
Okay, got it.
So that might be a reason you'd want to use force damage. So yeah, he lumbers his way towards you, and he's looking at the sword in Joe John Duran's hands.
All right, who's coming towards us?
Jack Tergali,
Oh,
Zombie
shit.
Jack.
in his flesh falling off his bones kind of body, but still seemingly quite intact. And as he approaches you, he says, "You got inside. Clever ones, are you? And that was in there. Well, that does make sense.
What do you know of this?
That is the master's weapon.
Oh, darn.
Shit.
Clearly, it is for you to use in freeing him."
I think we made it clear that's not what we want to do. Do you remember that conversation, Jack?
As if you hadn't even spoken, he says, "Now we will approach the ziggurat and destroy the guardians to get inside."
All right. Just a quick little aside. I think we should kill him.
What'd you say, Nim? Right.
I just think we should murder this guy.
I
Yeah.
can do that with the sword right now. It's in my hand.
All right.
Seems kind of rude just to kind of do a cheap shot and lop a guy's noggin off.
I mean, he clearly is a drone of Grazit. He also did not do well by our dearest Glonda, and who have we don't know yet, but they have not switched back. So like we're just like I'm.
Oh, they haven't?
No.
No.
Hey, yeah, I didn't realize we left.
Yeah.
No, we're outside
Yeah.
now, and
Glenda and I were messaging each other saying, it's like, should we say anything?
What do we do?
Well, do you want to go back and you want
well,
to
at this point, we're in the middle of something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the
Um,
middle of something else.
Can't we just
Uh,
handcuff Jack Tergali?
Sorry, what was that, Jordan?
Can we handcuff him instead of killing him?
I
Seems like
would
he's almost dead
prefer
anyway.
murder. I would prefer murder.
He's really bad.
Has to be a fair fight, though.
Bloodlust.
Yeah.
Jack, I challenge you to a duel.
He looks at you up and down and says, What? This is... But we must go together." And he points over to the ziggurat. "The master, he calls. Why?
Jack,
Nima, he does make a good point.
Jack, we don't need you beyond this point, and to be quite frank with you, we don't trust you, nor do we like you.
Could he perhaps get us into a door that we need getting into once we're there? Like, he might be
We can
useful.
chop his hands off, Jordan. We
Ah.
can carry different body parts. We can each take.
Like Minority Report, just gouge out his eyeballs. And
Yes,
the retinal
exactly.
Okay.
On friendship bracelet.
I just wanted murder.
But am I
Okay.
wrong though?
Sorry,
Like,
I'm sorry.
Could we use him?
I just
One or
watched The
two more
Northman.
times?
I apologize.
Every murderer
Robert
has
Eggers'
a
fault.
trademark. Jordan's will be limbs.
He's looking at you a bit strangely, like what's going on here, as if he obviously can't quite figure out what's happening. And he takes a step back away from you, and he sort of raises a guttural out of his throat, and from behind him there is the sound of movement, and it is the creatures that Norman had seen earlier, these large monstrosities that rouse themselves and come to his side, and they are easily 9 feet tall, parodies of what were humans, but now have a mass of different body parts attached to them, arms, and one has 2 heads and the other has 3 arms, but again, they're just bones basically with flesh hanging off of them and things poking out in really sharp and damage dealing ways.
Okay. Where are they?
Very, very quickly, I pull Nim Aurelian aside, like super quick, and on the slide I say, "Psst, hey Nim, I look like Glonda, but this is good Norman." I don't know if
Girl talk.
You
You
know
gotta
this.
say girl talk.
Girl talk.
Oh my god.
So no, but this is relevant.
Mm.
Do you think Jack Terragalli has control over these monsters? And if I were to switch bodies with Jack Terragalli, could I have control over these monsters?
All right. That's an interesting question.
What? Yeah. What do you think?
Norman in Glonda's body. Okay, quick thing then. What would Nim Well, no, we know that these guys are monstrosities that were made from Grazit, and they are almost his puppets more than anything else, rather than potentially Jack's.
That would not be. Okay, not a good idea to try and. I just didn't know if having a double agent or an undercover so-and-so might be of assistance.
I wonder what would happen, though, if we did swap Jack with one of us, because is it his body or is his soul that Grazit is currently clamped down on? It would be curious to investigate that in some scientific way. Perhaps bring a squirrel.
I know, I'm curious. Anyway, this quick conversation is now. Not
Everybody's
quick, and there
tapping.
might be
their
other
fingers.
things happening.
Sounds
okay,
good,
I just want to throw
Glonda.
that idea out there. Girl talk concluded.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull Glonda aside, and I'm gonna say, if you have any means to trade bodies again, you trade back before you do that. You mess up your own damn body.
Okay, got it. Deal.
Cool.
Dealio.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so Jack is there with 4 zombies, essentially.
3.
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
They are obviously full grown, whereas the guy that we fought on the ship was like a baby version of them.
Correct.
What was his HP? Because obviously we would have remembered the baby one. We did fight him. Do you remember baby strength?
I don't know if I have it offhand, but I will tell you that it took you some rounds to deal significant damage, and in the end, he seemingly took his own way out because he fell overboard with Jojandron at the end of that fight. So whether or not you actually did him in, is beside the point.
Right. Because I'm just thinking about how feasible is it to take down the 3 zombies now thing in addition to Jack. Or if we kill Jack, what would happen then with the 3 zombies? I'm assuming the 3 zombies would still try to slaughter us. But Grazit wants us. But then this character thing almost killed us that was a monstrosity of Grazit on the ship.
So many layers.
Yeah, if Grazit wants us to survive to the point of saving him, then
I like
Hey,
forcing.
Tergar, what do you think we should do?
I like forcing his hand and taking taking Tergali out of the equation. It
Wait,
messes with his plans.
Tergar Alley. Is there a connection there?
Oh, Glonda, you're really onto
I've never-
something. Glonda, you're so smart.
I'd like to negotiate with Mr. Karagali.
He has his hand on his sword pommel now. His half skeletal, half fleshy hand, and he looks to you and says, "What is this? You are the anointed ones. We must go to the ziggurat now."
You're absolutely right.
Yes,
Who are these zombie guys?
they're the last of the crew.
Well, we don't want to hang out with them.
They are sworn to my cause. They are loyal beyond any.
Well, tell them to go in the tower, and they'll wait for us once we free Grazit.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's understanding this idea of sending them away.
Let me roll a persuasion.
I love that idea.
Let's say,
Do some math here.
loading. Oh, 19.
Oh, wow. Okay. So he looks at you a bit for a second. He says, and he makes another rumbling noise in his throat, and they take a wary step back sort of beyond the dune that they arose from.
Great. Well, do we want to keep them alive or not, folks?
Just gonna say this: that I'm worried we're being led into a trap. If we keep with Tergali, we're following what Grazit wants. That's my
I would
concern.
like to remove Terragali and his zombies from this equation. However, I do understand that the zombies seem almost impenetrable and challenging to destroy, and we all might die.
I do have something I haven't really had a chance to do. I do have my brown lizard that I could be turning, which is kind of a super tank in this type of setting. Couldn't do it on the ship, and often the places we're in, I can't use him because he's too big.
Can Nim like do any type of detection, and you know, like even in Divinity Original Sin, you can like examine someone, and depending on how good you are at being able to, your lore master, right? You know certain things about them. Does something like that exist in D&D where you can gauge whether or not a battle is in your wheelhouse or not?
Yeah, no, there are some rules for that. It really depends on the creature, and in this case, I think you're probably going to get to roll your Arcana.
Okay.
Now, it's going to be significantly high for difficulty, but that is because you've not met him before. You've not met his kind before.
All right. Great. Yeah. Okay. I do add 8 to that, so it's just a 10 in the end.
Well,
So-
you don't know a lot about what has happened to him, but you do have the previous fight you had with the gentleman whose name I can't remember at the time, and you know that the bones that are protruding from him provide him with significant armor factor.
Right.
Makes him very hard to damage, but he hasn't been moving like he's slowed down by it. So you expect that he would be pretty fierce. In addition to whatever facilities he had as Jack Tergali, a person you never knew. So
This is Tergali you're talking about, not the
Yes.
monstrosity. Okay.
the
But we also have
monstrosities.
this acid knife that can cut through armor, presumably.
Mhm.
That sword is a pretty great sword, from what I understand.
Well, maybe
It's
we
written on the
just
label.
we try to walk along with Jack and continue to say that we don't want those bone people near us because of religious reasons, and then when we are far enough away from the bone people, we try to take Jack down.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, where would you like to go? I will fill in the blanks for where those two other areas are, which means I have to move myself to a scene. There we go. So the village where the dwarves lived was over there, and the mine where they mined all the stone is down there. So now that you are aware of those areas retroactively, you know that they are there. Whether you want to go to them or not is up to you.
I don't see them on the map.
The
Refreshing.
But the Ziggurat's gone now.
Oh, you'll definitely want to reload it or refresh it or something.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, so there is a
Thank you.
cigarette,
Yeah. Okay. The mine, the village.
the mine, and the village. So the village is deserted, as far as we know.
That is your understanding, is that after the incantation was performed, there was a period where the Tolliver and her adventurers stayed on to sort of make sure that the incantation held, and that the dwarves then took the opportunity to get paid and go home.
Is there any merit to going to, like, what would we have to potentially gain by going to the village or the mine?
We have a long rest there.
Oh, that wouldn't be a bad idea, actually. That's true. We're all banged up here.
So we'd have to kill Jack first.
No. Why would we have to kill Jack first?
Before we are defenseless while we're sleeping.
True.
But he keeps saying
True.
like, "Oh yeah, you're the anointed one. Why would they kill us now?" Like,
that's a good
so
point.
he's gonna kill us after he's out.
Okay, great. Well, we can go to the village and find a really nice, like a kind of a cottagey little.
Yeah,
place.
like not a 5-star, but like maybe a 3. Clean
So can
sheets.
we just jump back into the tower real quick before we go?
Yes.
And then
I mean,
I think it would be kind of interesting to do it with Jack. Ask Jack if he's interested and see if we can, because Nim is definitely curious about how Grazit does what he does, like, because he's obviously gone inside of dead people before, and he's also can hold on to their mind, and like at this case, Jack isn't dead, but he is very much Grazit's guy. Like, yeah, it'd be kind of interesting to see what would happen.
I'm game to switch back with Glonda and then be the guinea pig for the Jack
Wait.
attack.
Sweet.
Okay, so what are you wanting to do?
The two of them are going to go and try to switch back first.
Okay. So how do you explain to me how you want to do that? Is the trapdoor still open?
we not close it and touch the diamond?
You can totally do that.
Can we leave it open but also just gently touch the diamond while the door is ajar?
Nothing happens when you touch it with the door ajar.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Hey Jack, you wait outside. Everybody wait outside. Glonda and I, we forgot something in here.
Jack keeps a
I mean,
respectful distance.
Gnorman and I, because nobody's caught on to our ruse yet.
Jack keeps
Not
a-
a single person.
It seems that Jack keeps a respectful distance from the tower. He eyes it warily, as if maybe he doesn't want to go close to it.
Cool,
Mm.
cool.
Jack, you seem to be eyeing the tower warily, as if you don't want to go towards it. Why is that?
I don't trust that place.
Why not?
It held the master. It is evil.
And you don't think your is all right? Okay.
All right, Glonda, you ready to roll?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You
Freaky Friday.
as you close the trap door, there's a sound as a seal seems to be closed. Not
We
that-
know how to open it if we need to open it again. We just keep doing it till we get a nat 20.
Or you throw me into the mix.
Yeah.
Roll your saves. Oh, that definitely is a fail. You feel a light and you wake up in your own bodies.
Hooray.
Hey!
I'm me again.
It's good. It's good to smell like me again.
Yeah, it's good to not smell you.
Cool. So we leave the tower and go, hey, nothing happened. We're the same as we were before. I'm
Yeah.
Norman. by
Yeah,
the way.
we just closed the room so that nothing could come out of it in case there were big baddies.
Jack, might you want
So,
to
Jack-
see the room that encased your? I mean, really, if you want to be properly a protector of your demon god, you might need to see what
Because
you're up
we
against.
figured it all out, Jack. So like, there's no reason to be afraid. Like, you're gonna get power out of this.
He barks at you. You serve the master well by retrieving his weapon. But now you waste time. He is there. He is within our grasp. We must go now. Like drool falls down his rotting chin as he says that.
Jack,
Oh,
Jack,
God.
Jack, 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 Jack.
Jack, you were really built
Listen.
up at the beginning of this game to be this big hot shot, and you're just falling apart here.
I think
We must go.
It would do you good to come in here and see what. Because here, tell you what, it'll just be me. I'm so small. I'm not threatening. Just come on in with me to this thing. I'll show you. Because if you thought that great sword was great, I mean, you should see what else is in there.
He crosses his arms definitively as if to say that he is going nowhere near that accursed place.
Cool. I'm gonna roll for persuasion anyway.
Oh, you rolled a 19.
What's that? Natural? Wow.
Did
did.
roll
He
a
did roll a
19.
19.
All right.
Plus
that back.
do. What is it? Persuasion.
Are
So
you
it's a
gonna-
21.
If you're successful, are you gonna trade bodies with him, and then we lose Norman's abilities?
100%.
We see what happens.
Oh God.
What about
God.
throwing him in the room and closing the door?
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Can't
Or we
you
get
just
a little
open the
rat.
Too
door?
late now.
Okay. Well, he looks over at the tower curiously, like it's a place the master lived. It was a place that was dear, that he spent time in. It is obviously a special place, and he can't help but be curious about what is inside. So he says,
It's Graceland, buddy.
I will look in. We did not go near that place. I will look in.
I understand your hesitation and your fear, but don't worry. We've already been in there. We figured it out. I will show you how it all works.
And he
We go inside.
slowly edges his way over. Yeah.
Cool. You can keep your distance. It's fine. Go move into the last room. It's like this door here. You might even recognize this door, but behind this door is all the good stuff.
He actually stays at the other end of the floor, so he is not in the same space. Like he doesn't go through that first trap door, so he's looking through it to where you are.
So I push on the door, pretending to try to open it, but not touching the jewel. Like I just push on. It's like, ooh, this door is heavy. I think it takes two people. It took two people to open it previously. So if you could come over here and just help give me a push, and then it'll all be worth it on the other side.
He says, "Bring one of your friends and make them do it."
He knows.
Listen, if you don't want to play ball, I
That's what we're
I
gonna
think
do.
you're disappointing. You're disappointing. Good old what's his face by not going along with this plan. Don't let the logic confuse you. Just hear my words and believe what I say.
He looks at you and says, "You are not even one of the anointed ones. Why should I trust you?"
Mm.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I wasn't. So I didn't have a bracelet on or some stupid thing.
Sash
Okay,
instead.
cool. Listen, just take one step forward. You don't have to come to the door, but just come a little closer.
Do you guys
says-
remember when we put all of our heart and soul into saving this one guy from being poisoned? And Andrew very much was like, "Oh, you rolled all the right dice. He still died because he wouldn't let a certain thing happen in game. I'm having a sense, just having a sense that that's where we're going with this. Just wanted to give you a heads up.
He says, "Open the door, gnome."
Throw him in, lock the door, throw away the key. We don't need him anymore.
He draws his sword,
come out.
points it at you, and says, "Open it."
Listen, okay, Joe John, I'm glad I can hear you. The peanut gallery on the outside.
Lock him in.
Why don't you just come in here? Just come help me out. Let's do it. Either kick him in the butt so he falls into the room with me, or like maybe come help me open this door.
Isn't he at the far end of the thing? Like he'd have to climb all those stairs though, right? To get there?
There'd have to be a little bit of climbing for him to get to where Norman is. So he is easily 20 to 25 feet away.
So he can't just be in the room. He's got to be physically closer than that.
All I'm telling you is he's not in
We
the
don't
room
know.
with you. Yeah.
Listen, I'm all out of ideas.
Let's go to the village.
Well, right now we have Jack Terrigali pointing a sword at Gnorman. Is that okay?
Oh.
Hey, listen, Jack. If you want a piece of this, you better come and get it. Because I'm not. What you think I'm gonna?
Yeah.
So I pull out my staff, my quarter staff, and I say, like, listen, Jack, you're right. I'm not one of the anointed ones, and you could end this right now if you have the balls to step into this room closer to my direction and come face off with me, because I've had enough of your BS, and I say you should get some.
You see
Tell him he stinks too.
You see a look on his face, like he's very conflicted about what he should be doing at this point.
Ooh, my name's Jack Terrigali. You can see my bones.
And his face sort of screws in on itself as he backs out of the room.
Ooh,
Stomps
my
off
name's
inside.
Jack Terrigali. I smell like poo-poo.
And he trumps past Jojandra on his way out and shoulders him and says, "That one, is he necessary to you?"
Not in the normal way, but yes, holistically.
And
The normal way.
He growls and says, "If he is necessary, he lives. The minute he is not, I make no promises."
You know, it's interesting you make that threat. We feel the same way about you, Jack.
And through the door, you still hear my voice taunting Jack Terrigali. Ooh, my Jack Terrigali. My hair looks like a butt.
you see the cloud following him as he goes. It's like, is he crying? Is that him crying? No, it can't be him crying. It's just pus coming out of his eyeballs.
I pop my head through the door and I see everybody else on the outside of the room, and I say, "Hey, listen, I tried."
That you did. Good, Norman. That you did.
Thank you.
He goes back and looks off at the ziggurat almost longingly and turns back to look at you. Are you following him yet? No. So he looks back over the ziggurat, paces a bit.
Jack,
What
Jack.
are the bone people doing?
They appear to be, if you look sort of peek over the dune, you can see that they are there. But they are.
And
They're
what
not
about
moving
everyone's
much.
hit points? How are we all doing?
I'm damaged after my fall,
I'm perfectly healthy.
and I'm missing spells.
Do we need a rest before we do one?
I think a rest would be good. I also have no. Oh, I just realized I don't have very many. Well, I can't change into the things I thought I was going to go. Yeah,
You would have restored those on a long rest, though, Dan.
I think I used them though since the long rest. Usually I'm pretty good about restoring these things when I feel like I turned into something.
I can't
No?
remember what. I know you did it during the hurricane fight, but I don't remember anything since
Turned
then.
into a dolphin or a shark, sorry.
Yeah, that was during the hurricane fight.
Okay, but didn't I turn into...
Well, I can throw this one to the viewers. If you remember Tergar having shapeshifted into something in between the hurricane fight and now,
Yeah, it probably
chime
doesn't make
in
sense.
for
think
free
so.
merch.
It probably doesn't make sense. I'm just looking at my options. I don't think I did then. 'Cause that's the last fight that we had, right? Was during
Exactly.
the hurricane.
Yeah. I don't think we've had a fight since.
Okay. I still think I'd like a long rest.
Well, Jack, as you are somewhat undead, you may not need rest, but we are still living, for the time being, anyway. So before
He barks back, I am not undead. I live like you.
All right, touchy, bony man. That's good to hear. That's very good to hear that you're alive. Do you need to sleep then?
We slumber.
Yeah, good. That's good. So we'd like to do that before we undertake whatever it is we're going to do when we get to that cigarette. One of those agree to disagree kind of moments, I think.
He lets out an audibly frustrated sigh as he sheathes his sword back in his scabbard and says, yes, if you require it.
Excellent. How are the houses down in the village?
If you require them, they are suitable.
Excellent.
There was a very comfortable sleeping arrangement in that room in the tower. I suggest that's maybe you and I should go sleep in there.
he starts to take a step towards you, and then he takes a step back, like. I will be here
fine,
when
more
you are ready.
popcorn and M&Ms for me.
Well, let's go to the village, Andrew.
Okay, you make your way south to the village, and it is quite large. You immediately recognize it. It's a wait. Let me scroll to my notes about what the village actually is. All right, so it is about maybe a kilometer. You do a very easily 100 stone structures here, and they are not just thrown together. They took about as much time to build as maybe the ziggurat did. They spent some time making this. Does not even take a stone cutting roll to see that even the houses have been expertly crafted, and they've weathered seemingly the past 40 years with no complaint. You can see any one of them would be perfectly adequate to withstand inclement weather, but inclement weather currently is not to be found. It is a balmy 25 degrees, and it is probably about midday by now. And yeah, it's a bit of it's flat land. It's on the other side of a hillock. So yeah, but you don't find anything like personal possessions. Like, it's not like they're left in a hurry. So
It's
anything they had
completely ghost town.
It's pretty ghost town.
Mm-hmm. Should we find a suitable house to lodge ourselves in and keep Jack out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He hasn't followed you, if that's a concern.
Oh, he's staying at his camp?
He's staying back. He wandered back over to his camp.
Oh. Okay, that's good to know, actually. We could sneak out and go to the ziggurat without him.
True
Although
enough.
I'm sure Grazit would tell him.
Why don't each of you roll an investigation check for me?
Investigator +3, okay. It's a 14 for me, Andrew.
Okay. Excited by Christine's natural 1. That was great. So you do find, what was the highest roll that you all got? Who rolled the highest?
I might have at 14.
I got 25.
25,
Oh yeah, shit, you're the 17.
says
Nice.
Brett. Okay.
Super.
So you do find a large house in the middle, clearly built up as a larger dwelling than the rest. So much so it actually has a second level atop it. And it looks like it would be a marvelous place to spend the night, or at least the next 8 hours. You do find in there, as you're sort of bedding down or making yourselves comfortable for a bit of a rest, have some food and such. There is an office of sorts set up on the second floor, and there are pages that seem to have been torn out from a diary. And Nim obviously focused immediately onto the idea that there were pages lying around there. And does anybody read Dwarvish? I imagine one person reads Dwarvish.
I probably can.
I do as well.
Oh, excellent.
Well, get out of here.
I
wait.
feign ignorance.
Nima should, and I'll like judge her accent and be like, your pronunciation is off.
So they're only a few paragraphs, but they detail a schematic. They describe, it's clearly related to the ziggurat. Some of the phrasing suggests that it's part of the design of this feature. There is a staircase on top of the ziggurat, something that descends from the top of it, and it is triggered. The operation of it is triggered by very specific blood being dripped into a chalice, which is on top of it. It seems to have been ripped just to the part, like the good part, which would explain more about what that blood is and how maybe it works. But something about the blood going into the chalice will trigger a stone staircase to descend.
Jack's blood.
It does not specifically say Jack's blood, no.
Should we all cut ourselves and
Sure.
Well, wait, no, but this is at the top of the ziggurat,
No,
the
I know.
chalice.
This is basically telling us probably once we get to the ziggurat, how do we get?
But should we just all cut each other right now? Just for shits and giggles?
Just
no,
for
we can
lulz.
Just
keep it
to
in a
feel
chalice
something.
Oh.
until we
Just
until we get there.
Feel so dead inside. I
Oh.
cut myself just to feel something. Mean.
Oh, wow. You're real tonight, Norman.
Just I'm a little, yeah. I spent a little too much time outside my own body.
That is true. But otherwise, you find very little. I mean, you might find something that rolled behind a cupboard, that level of, cleanup. People took their stuff with them. So you are able to take a long rest. You are not interrupted or interfered with. It is eerily quiet. Actually, yes, it is eerily quiet here. In the distance as you approached, you did still hear the bird song going a little crazy in the distance, birds that are active when they shouldn't be active. Lots of movement in the jungle forest, but the village itself being so large, and nothing seems to have come here. So it is, you just hear the wind wafting through the stone structures, maybe a chant
This
of...
is, I gotta say, pretty good real estate. And right now there's a housing shortage. If people knew about this empty village, I say we spruce the place up, put the listings up. We got ourselves our own little village here.
Call it New Orleans.
Oh, sweet.
New Orleans, yeah.
Was that your importance there?
Mhm.
One of them was a die 12, so you might want to think about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
You can re-roll that 9, but the 2 will definitely stay.
Okay, thank you. That's awesome.
Okay. So, yeah, you finish your long rest. What would you like to do now?
Well, we could go back and get Jack and bring him to the ziggurat. We could go and back to Jack and fight Jack now that we're healed up a bit. We could sidestep Jack and just go to the ziggurat without him. We can go to the mine and play around there, see if the quarry's filled with water, maybe have a swim. Those are the options as I see them.
I think because we have like done a long rest and we are as healthy, wealthy, and wise as we could be, that now is the time to kind of go explore the ziggurat. Because if we do another side quest and we get hurt and then it's like we don't have time or something happens.
Do we just beeline it for the ziggurat, sort of go wide so Jack maybe can't see us?
But then what if he finds out otherwise from some magical entity? And
Well,
then
I
he gets
assume he
pissed?
probably will. Yeah.
I could
worried about him
keep
being
Jack distracted if we need a distraction. I can play Operation Distract Jack.
I'll say this. I think we're strong enough to take Jack out. If we can't take Jack out,
his bone boys.
If we can't take Jack out, how are we going to ever fight Grazit?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, maybe fighting him now and his bone boys.
We can fight Jack and his bone boys now and then take another long rest.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping us from taking another long rest.
So we'll fight the bone boys.
Yeah, it's sort of divide
Jack
and
and
conquer.
the Bone Boys.
Yeah, I think it's time we
Got
draw
it.
a line
Jack and
in
the
the
Bone
sand between us and Jack and the Bone Boys.
So I'm just going to take a second then to prepare whatever I think might be reasonable for that type of a battle.
Can I
Because
use
they're
this
gonna
special
be-
sword? Nim,
Yeah, you should use it.
can I
What
use
do we
it?
remember from our previous fight with them?
They've got really good armor.
Yeah, but did they have
So
like
But they-
since the
immunities
decision
to
was
things?
made, Gnorman just jumps into action and like starts striding
No.
confidently
No,
towards Jack.
no.
Wearing-
No,
are they
we're
wearing
in
metal
we're
armor?
in the village still, Gnorman.
We're
Don't
preparing
go.
our spells.
Are they wearing metal armor?
Oh, we can prepare our spells, huh?
So Jack is wearing armor.
Okay.
He is wearing tattered leather armor.
Okay.
Sorry, I gotta go scroll back to him. And the dudes that are around are not wearing armor. The large 9-foot tall monstrosities, but they are covered with bone plates.
And Andrew, what do I get with my little sword here?
I will tell you when you start swinging it around.
Oh, really?
Yep,
You won't tell me what the
I
attack
won't.
bonus is and the damage.
I will not tell you
You
just
won't.
yet.
Interesting.
Interesting. Eh?
I thought you might.
Well, I mean, if you want to hit Turgar with it, I would gladly give you.
No.
a return.
The
Does
good.
Does Jack show magic ability? Like, does game recognize game?
He does not strike you. Anything you have heard about him, or anything that you see about his person, he does not carry arcane effects.
Okay.
So if he has spell casting ability, it might be like Galanda does. She seems to be able to cast spells without, the big show of a sorcerer or something.
Okay.
I'll just set things up because it sounds like you guys are moving into fight territory.
Yeah, though we only have 8 minutes left.
Well, we can certainly posture.
Yes.
Whoever ruined my picture in the Word doc, I'm mad at you.
What picture?
I made a really good picture. I think it might be Dan or Al.
No, you
Dan?
can see. Look in the
Look at
history.
Al. Look at Al laughing.
Look in the history. You can see who did it.
Undo it right now. I framed
What
it
did he do?
nicely.
Actually, I have to see it too. What did
Oh,
he do?
that's so pretty.
Where is it? At the
see
bottom on
Scroll
page
to the
23?
bottom.
That was at home.
I gotta go
I've
back.
never seen this document.
Al cropped
Anyway, gang.
just to your forehead, so there was nothing.
What did you do? I want to see. Wait. So
It's-
the
This is what
picture-
happened. This is what happened. And- okay, now go back. Because it was a snipping tool. I didn't save it. Thank you. That made me nervous.
Anyhow,
Are those guys
so
ready?
should I go punch Jack now or what?
Okay.
Yeah.
I will bring you all back to the Fallen Tower, which is as good a battle map as any. I'm gonna reload this because it didn't.
I look angry. Is that just like, was that just taken?
You were sitting quietly.
I have a resting angry face.
But you were, but the
Apparently
the framing was beautiful. So
I know. I've been happy with it all night. Wait, there.
Let me move these guys over here.
That's Paul Reiser and Billy Ray Cyrus.
No, his name was Kevin. something?
Anyway,
Anywho,
Ryan.
Yeah, I'm
All
excited
right.
about some of the
John
spells
Tinker.
that I've got here.
Oh yeah, I have
Good
one
about-
spell too many. I have to finish that.
I'm feeling
Okay.
good about trying some fun things this time around.
Hmm.
so you wander back towards. Wait, I don't see Norman. Where is Norman?
Okay, wait, actually, before
Oh,
we
okay.
do,
Wait.
I have a couple of battle questions because I've never done this before. So, when we go into battle, sometimes you say, "Are you guys going to do anything before you hop into battle?" Right?
I do
Especially
say
when
that.
we're like hiding. And this is where I wonder about some like buffs that I can put on prior to starting a battle, because oftentimes like I have some magic that if I did it, it would be my entire turn.
Yep.
But because turns are so fast, but if she just kind of very much like when we play Divinity, it's like cast haste.
No, I know
cast
exactly what
whatever.
you're talking about. Yep.
So I'm wondering what my abilities are there in terms of things I can cast prior to the battle that would at least stay.
So it really comes down to the duration of those effects. So if it lasts like 1 minute, then you could cast as many things as you want before marching over to Jack's camp and deciding that you're gonna get into fisticuffs. But it's gonna take you some time to get from where you are to that place. So if one thing lasts for an hour and another thing lasts for a minute, then you probably do it like, well, I'll cast the hour-long thing at our camp, and then I'm gonna walk up, and when we're about 10 seconds away, I'll cast all the stuff then. And that may or may not trigger, like if he goes, oh, that's obviously an attack spell, I'm going to get into it with you then. But
Yeah.
in terms of this placement, like where I put you all onto our map here, that's just sort of default. You can be wherever you want to be. Like, tell me what you want your plan to be, because you are very much initiating an ambush unless you call out from 50 feet away, we're going to kill you, in which point he will obviously react.
Right.
But
Okay, so two little things then that I'll say on my end.
'Kay.
One is that I definitely would want to cast Enhance Ability, the Tolliver spell, and I could cast that on more than one person, but what that does is that there's different types of endurance, but you could do Bear's Endurance where you gain temporary hit points and Bull Strength. Like, so I would probably want to look into that before our battle actually starts.
the only other aspect to keep in mind is that some spells are concentration spells, and Enhance Ability is one of them. You can only maintain one concentration spell.
Okay, and where? Oh, I see. Oh, I don't actually have it checked off as. Oh, not CONS.
It does not
CONC.
consume a spell component. Yeah, it is concentration.
So okay, that's good to know. That's good to know.
I have
Okay,
one
so-
question too. If I do, let's say, summon Fae
Mhm.
prior to the battle, which is an hour long,
Yep.
it is a concentration spell. I am able to shapeshift and maintain that concentration.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you take damage and you have to make a concentration check, and if you fail the concentration check, then the
I
Fey
lose
will
the
be
Fey.
unsummoned. Yeah.
I have a lot of concentration-based spells then.
Me too.
Okay, that's good to know. And then my other thought is, y'all, I have some pretty big, like, area-based effects that might be worth starting the battle off with, rather than just someone running up and hitting with
Artillery
a sword.
barrage.
But yeah, this idea, again, it really makes me think of Divinity, where it's like, I'm going to massively bomb everyone with fire, and that's going to initiate the battle. So I've got things like Firewall or Wall of Fire. I've got Phantasmal Killer, which does psychic damage within a decent range. So I'm wondering if we might want to, like, we can spend the last few minutes talking tactics, and then we'll actually begin the battle.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
As do I.
do we know that fire is the weapon to use against these folks?
Great question.
Does Nimmerlian have any? Would Nimmerlian be the one that would have the most knowledge on like undead types?
Well, what did we experience on the ship with that one guy that was a mini version?
Well,
Right.
I don't know if
I
you
radiant bolted, I think.
You were
Well,
blasting
somebody.
pieces out of it. But that was
I
the
mean, it makes-
elementals,
It
right?
would make sense that they have a decent AC, but So I don't know if that would mean that they'd be more or less vulnerable to something. It's just that they've got a really high AC. So it's a matter of trying to do attacks that, regardless of their AC, they land, and then it's how much damage they do potentially, versus ones where you're having to try to beat a higher AC each time in order to even land a hit.
Well, I'll give you a couple things. One is that you've already sort of sized up Jack to the best of your ability. That was the Arcana roll I had you make, and you didn't knock that one out of the park. You got a 10. But the other thing is you've never met Jack before, and these other creatures, as much as Bone Boys, yes, as much as they resemble the transformed dude that you had on your boat, these guys are a level beyond. Like, they are excessively mangled compared to what that guy was. Like, that guy just had a few protrusions coming out of him and his skin started to peel off. These guys are far and beyond. So it may be that they are more or less capable than what he was. I don't recall whether you used fire on him. If you did, I will say that it didn't seem to have, a magical effect on him. And it wasn't like, oh, burned up and died, because that didn't happen. So.
I think,
Yeah,
I don't know,
I've
fire
got-
and good
I've got
bodies. So it would be a
moves.
good weapon, I think.
I've got moves like slow where I can slow them down. I've got moves where I can try to strike fear in their eyes. I can try to charm them, depending on their like poor potential. Because I bet you their wisdom and intelligence kind of might go down if they're lumbering around being bone boys. So there's things that I can do to make them less likely to hit us by trying to freak them out and do psychic damage and things like that.
I could kind of do the same thing as you if we went in tandem. Like I could call lightning, which would actually, I think these are 5-foot boxes, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I could get all of them in call.
Well, again, and we could be
lightning.
like, oh, let's all get together. Like we could work our way into trying to get them into the right spot before we actually do our initial hit, right? Because they think that we're on their team, so we can try to do our best to like.
Well, do we want to not hit them out of ambush? Like they don't realize that we're even there.
Yeah, that's another possibility for sure. Do a stealth thing. Yeah.
Like Andrew, I see that we're back at the tower,
Yes.
so I'm assuming then they've seen us. If
No, I mean,
we're-
I just set that up
So-
as putting all our pieces on, but they can be anywhere.
Okay. So it probably makes more sense for us to be south of them if we were coming from the south, right?
Sure. The map's only so big. So
Where is
I'm just flagging. It's 10 o'clock.
Yes.
well, let's think about this.
How
And
about next time we meet, we'll have had a little bit of a chat to figure out the who, the what, the when, the where, and we kick it off with a bloody, bony boy battle.
Yes. I'm ready. I got all my smites prepared with my new special sword that may or may not only give 1 point of damage. We'll find out when I start swinging it.
And I think a tiny hut might be in order.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds because I feel that they're wounded spirits.
And Gwanda, do you have bone cunning as well? 'Cause that would really help.
That would be amazing.
So good. Awesome.
Well,
Cool.
what a great cliffhanger to leave it on. We'll start it up next time with the battle that we have engineered quite nicely here.
Only been 6 months since our last.
Are they around? Are like they standing very close to each other?
Well, we'll figure that out when you decide to tell me how you're going to approach them, how they're all
Sure.
set.
Okay, sounds good.
Excellent. Well, then
C'est bon.
we will see you all in 2 weeks. Insert pithy ending.